Hi friends, welcome back. And this is Lokesh. And today we are going to discussing about in a post method request body parameterization. Okay, data using our K6 and CSV file right now I'm showing. Okay, there are multiple ways we can do for request body parameterization like CSV file or JSON file or YAML file. Okay, any one you can able to choose. Now I'm going to choose CSV file in case if we need for JSON YAML file. Comment on this video, and if you like this particular video, please like and share to your friends and colleagues. Okay, we'll see for the step by step. Like I'm going to show you like in this particular video, like for without parameterization. This is without and with the parameterization. Okay, these are the two functionality I'm going to show you here. Okay, in this request body I'll prepare for that. Okay, now I'm going to creating the new file, that is tc03 and underscore parameter.json. Okay, and here we can able to do for first we need to use the input and http from k6 and check constraint I'm going to use. Okay, and export uh, default function. Okay, for this I'm going to use for some dummy URL. Okay, https://api dot restful api dot dev slash objects. Okay, this is the URL I'm going to using. Okay, for this particular URL is required for payload as well. Okay, constant payload. Okay, in this payload I'm going to use for JSON dot string format. Okay, and I'm going to use for name Apple. This is a device name. Actually, we are going to do for device mobile devices. Okay, Apple iPad. Okay, and this required for data. Okay, and here we can able to use for generation, which generation of this iPhone it is presented. I'm going to use for 4000, or you can use for any kind of generations. Okay, based upon your okay, and I'm using for price. Okay, for string format 599, and then I'm going to use the capacity. Okay, capacity, and here I'm going to use 256 GB. Okay, and then I'm going to use for semicolon, and then we required for header as well, constant params. Okay, and here I'm going to use for headers. Okay, constant type as application. Okay, and then we need to use for our response purpose we need to use, right, constant response equal to http dot post method and then URL, and we are going to use that. Okay, and now I'm going to check for I'll print for my status. Okay, a response status comma response dot status. Okay, then I'm going to use for console dot log response dot body. Okay, once I have done, I'm going to check the constraint of the response. And I'll check for is status 200, 201 or 200. Okay, this we are going to check and we are closing. Okay, this is the hard coding format. Till that we have done for a couple of things like a request body creation. Okay, you can see, right? This is a request body creation, and then here is the headers, and here is the response and verifying that. Okay, even you can able to verify that response values also. Okay, and I'm going to use for parameter. Okay, TC03 parameter. Now I'm going to hit. You can see it give him for 100% pass, and there is a one user and verification of the results succeed, and this is my place. Okay, now tomorrow I want to change this payload, or I want to run for multiple devices to creating purpose. How could I do? We can able to use for CSV file, and then there we can able to use our values, right? From the CSV, how you can able to do. Now I'm going to save here name, okay, and generator generation, sorry, generation, and I'm going to use the price, and here I'm going to use the capacity. Okay, I'm going to use the Apple, and here is a Samsung, and then I'm going to use for Lenovo. Okay, and generation is the fourth gen, fifth gen, and sixth gen. Like this, I'm going to providing. Price 599, 699, 550. Okay, and here I'm going to use the capacity 256 GB. All 256 GB only I'll use. Okay, now I'm going to save this particular file in a project direction I will provide. Okay, uh, K6 project, sorry, and this is my K6 project, and I'll give the name as a devices, and the file extension could be we can use for comma or medicine. We can use this comma determinations. Okay, and I'm saving this particular file. You can see here it is there. Okay, now this one I need to do for some parameterization, right? Now I'll copy this entire file, sorry, the name of the file, and I'll mark it as a one. Okay, because we are going to do for parameterization. Now I'm going to copy this entire things and pasting into here. Okay, now how you can able to do parameterization? First we need to change the few, we need to add the two things. Okay, because all the JSON format of values we are going to get for shared array from K6 data. Okay, and then we need to use for to read that entire things into pepper peppers. Okay, from https colon jslibrary dot k6.io and file triple one index.json file we are going to use to extracting one. Okay, and then once you're done, we need to read that entire CSV data into shared array. Okay, that array having for the data. Okay, I'm going to use for devices. Okay, and here a new shared array. The name we can able to use for devices data, and then I'm going to use the function. Okay, the function need to return this one, parse open. That file name should be a same, it should be presented. Okay, otherwise it will be a fail. Okay, in case if you are storing that for particular file in that folder section, you need to provide the folder section here. Okay, like data slash like this. Okay, we can see that as well in the upcoming sessions. Okay, now I have done this one. Okay, now inside of this particular default function, we need to use the constant devices equal to, okay, and we need to use for devices and match that length, and we need to provide that particular one. Okay, and then we need to use for here name of this one device dot name. Okay, and generations and price and capacity. Okay, these are the two things we have modified. Okay, and say everything is same, nothing will not be changed. Okay, and you can able to verify this. Okay, now again I'm running this one, this time parameter 1. Now again running, now you can see it got passed, but if you see right, one time only. Okay, there is only one it is taken. Okay, it is not take for three because we have for three different kind of files. It should be run for three files, not right. It should not be run for one. Then it is the test case we are expected is not good. Then how you can able to do? Again, I'll copy this file name again. I'll create for another file. This time I'll mark it into 2, and I'll copy this entire code into here. Now I'm going back to up. Okay. This everything is fine. Now we need to change the devices, how many times it need to be take, right? Now here I'll use for export let options curly braces. Okay. Here virtual user colon, and I can use for devices dot length. Okay, comma, and then iteration devices dot length. Okay, these are the two things I need to export, and then I have to modify here little bit. Okay, constant index. Okay, constant index you can able to provide here. Okay, and then we need to use for hyphen hyphen virtual user minus 1. Okay, and then we need to use for into 1, and then we need to use the plus hyphen hyphen iterator. Okay, this one we need to declare, and then we need to take the index one. Here we can able to remove this entire things. Okay, index percentage devices dot length. Okay, this formula we have to specify. Okay, I need to remove this one, and then you can able to see everything is same, only a little bit here. Okay, now again I'm going to run this particular file. This time, sorry, that we need to use 2. See, now you can see 3 different files. Okay, 4 different files. Lava, Lenovo, Apple, Samsung, and it is to for some empty. Okay, because the headers also it is taken. Because of that, if you don't want headers, you can able to use for device length minus 1. Okay, that time it will work out. Okay, this way we can able to do for all the cases. Okay, I hope it this entire parameterization you loved it. Please like my video, and please do subscribe to your and share to your friends and colleagues. Thank you.